Hey, it's Marita, another episode of Book Bites. And today I'm going to talk about this fictional work called The Book of Lost Names. It is extremely riveting, very well written, and I'm fairly confident there's a lot of history embedded in the foundation of this particular story. It takes place in France, World War II, and it is the story specifically around one individual who becomes a major player in the smuggling of the Jewish children out of Paris and on like southern France, then on into Switzerland. It's just like holy crap. And like I said, it's extremely riveting. There were lots of, aside from that, like holy crap, this happened. And I don't know that much about World War II France. I know more about World War II Germany. So this was all like a whole new vantage point for me. But there were a couple of things, and again, oh my gosh, the book went like each chapter started with like when, not every chapter, but it would take you from World War II, but then take you into the early 2000s with this character. So it was just very nicely done. But there's some poignant statements or questions that had me pause that I wanted to share with you. And life turns on the decisions we make, the single moments that transform everything. And there's so much truth to that, isn't there? Like every time we say yes to this road, and the quantum physics says then all of those options, they go away. And again, life turns on the decisions we make, the single moments that transform everything. And sometimes, in the case with this character's life, is it could have been life or death. It was like she needed to make decisions like that in order to it like I can't even really describe it. I mean, sometimes life literally depended on that decision, and there was no option to be a coward, no option at all. The other thing, now she's in conversation with a pastor or priest. I think it was priest. Um, and he says, you can come to me anytime, Afa, and you can always come to God too. The path of life is darkest when we choose to walk it alone. And that speaks to this notion that we do life alone. We think we have to do it all by ourselves, that reaching out to somebody for help when we feel like we need help, whether it be, in this character needing help for whatever tasks she was working on. But why do we feel like we have to do it alone? We're not wired for that. We are wired for community. And I think that we tend as a people to forget that. And so this is your reminder that you don't have to do life alone. The other thing I really like is but the greatest deeds in life require us to rise above our fear. And if we are afraid, that what better time than to ask for help? And again, she's talking to the priest again, and he says, think of Moses when God called him from the burning bush and told him he must save his people from slavery. He was frightened too. And if you know the story, you know that he had all these excuses, but I can't do it this way. And then God gave him help. I can't do that because of this, and God gave him help. Whether you believe it or not, that's not the question. I'm wanting to hear the story. He questioned God just as you might be doing now. Who am I? Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? Who was she to think that she could actually make a difference in a child's life or a family's life? It's pretty cool. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. I don't know. It's classified as fiction. I don't know. I don't know if you could say it's historical fiction. I do tend to like historical fiction or things that are based on fact. But it's a very fast, very compelling, very magnetic type of read, and I highly, highly recommend it. So That's what I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.